Welcome. Hey, during this session, we're talking about prospecting. What kind of prospecting do you need to do in order to be the top 13% sales pro in the real estate space? That's what we're talking about today. All about the 13% club. How do you get to the very top? And so, listen, we built out a lot of stuff at this point. You talked about the math. We talked about the database. We shared with you the schedule that you need to live to. Hopefully that all meant something to you. Hopefully you got that built for yourself. You can start to now plug that into your actual calendar. But today we're going to talk about prospecting. And prospecting is an interesting deal because listen, you're in sales. I don't know if anybody told you, but that was the number one thing. It's the oxygen, if you will, to what it is that we do. It's prospecting. If you don't prospect, you're not going to make it in the business. And I'm not trying to be a jerk about that whole thing. I'm just trying to be honest with you. In any kind of sales, you have to prospect. That's what this is, right? So I'm begging you to make sure that that's the number one thing. It's always the number one thing. And some of you, when you looked at that schedule, you're like, well, yeah, but like going on appointments and doing paperwork, like I don't have any appointments to go on. I don't have any paperwork. And so you've got 2 hours of prospecting that's set aside. But guess what? If you take the appointment time that you're not using because you don't have any appointments and you put it over in the prospecting bucket, that means you have 4 hours to prospect. And then you take that paperwork time that you're not using to do paperwork because you don't have any contracts to write because you don't have any clients yet. Now you have 5 hours of prospect. See, that's how it works. So new to the business or not yet launched in the business means that more of your time is going to be spent actually prospecting. That's it. Okay. So prospecting is the thing that will infuse all energy, all of it. And it's like moving a boulder, right? Best visual I can come up with. There's this huge boulder. You got to get that thing moving. And it's hard. And you're going to have to put just a tremendous amount of effort into moving the boulder. Like you're pushing and you're grinding and you're trying to leverage stuff and you're doing all of the things. And right about the time that you're going to quit, and frankly, most people have already quit, is when it finally starts to move. And then it gets moving and it goes faster and faster. And now you're in momentum. See, that's prospecting. And now it doesn't take as much effort to keep the boulder moving at the same pace. What I find is that a lot of people, number one, quit before they ever get there. And then number two, the next batch of people that fall into this 87%, not the 13%, is they get going, they start getting busy, they start going on appointments, they start writing offers, they start doing some good things, and then they stop prospecting because they're busy, right? Well, then all of a sudden, now they're living at this level and the funnel is empty and they have to start all back over and they're like, maybe this just wasn't for me. It was for you. It is for you. This is a life-changing business. You just forgot the number one most important thing, and that is you always have to prospect. Always. That's on the good days and the bad days, the dark days and the light days, the cold days and the warm days. It's on all days. You have got to prospect. Okay. That's it. It's sales. It's literally sales. We prospect for new customers. We present to new customers. We solve problems for customers and we make a living. That's how it works. Right. Okay. So make your calls always. You all put your whole list together. Okay. And so we just used 100, right? When we were talking about the database. So if you were going to call all the people in your list every month, 20 business days, you got 100 people in your list, it's 5 calls per day. If you've got more than that, great, no problem. But a lot of you are going to go, well, wait a minute. I have 2 hours. I have 4 hours. I have 5 hours set aside to prospect every single day, but that's 5 calls took me like 10 minutes. I get it. So your problem isn't going to be the time necessary to prospect. Your problem is going to be the number of people that you can actually prospect. You don't have enough people to call. So what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to talk you through some ideas. By no means is this all of the ideas, but these are some ideas that I employed when I was building my list so that I could serve more clients. Okay. So number one on my list would be add 5 a day, right? So I know I'm making 5 calls. Well, add 5 more a day. Well, that's great, Todd. Where do I get them? Well, you've got the memory jogger that was included in that session where we were talking about building your CRM, building your database. So add 5 more from that list. Pick up the phone, call those people, introduce yourself, remind them who you are and what you're doing. You're in real estate, and ask them if you can add them to your list. Ask them if there's something that you can do. You're doing business with these people, right? These are people that already know, like, and trust you, and or you're doing business, which means you're spending money on their business. And so now you're asking them to be participating in your business. And y'all, there is this law of reciprocity, and it exists. It's true. It's actually a thing. And that is, if you are doing something for me, I have a feel and need that I need to pay you back somehow. And if allowing you to be part of my list is how I can pay you back, I'm in. Okay. So you're going to add 5 people to your list every day.
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. I'm going to get you right back to the video, but most of you know me as a real estate broker, or maybe somebody who's built and scaled one of the fastest growing sales organizations in the country. What you may not know is that I also work with other sales professionals and leaders that are looking to grow and scale their businesses and just live badass lives. The one place that I have everybody start, the very first spot, is the lethal scripts for the sales warrior. I'm going to give you one for free today, just so that you can get a little taste of what it is that we're doing out there. So click on the link below. We'll send you the information, and let's get back to the video.
Another one is write 5 notes. I'm going to go super old school on you. All right. There was a time, I might just tell you the story. When I sold business to business sales, I had to get to the decision maker, right? It was the owner, manager, CEO, whatever. It was really hard to get past the gatekeeper in order to have that meeting, but that person was the decision maker, and I really wasn't going to get anything sold until I got to that person. And so if I called and I said, hey, listen, can I talk to Sally? And they introduce, hey, Todd Conklin's on the phone for Sally. Sally's like, I have no idea who Todd is. Take a message. So what I started doing was I started looking in the local news, right? And I would see something that happened good for the business, or good for Sally, or maybe even bad for Sally, or maybe she got an award or whatever. And I would write a handwritten note to Sally. And I might even like include a clipping from the newspaper, or maybe I printed off from the internet, and I would include that, and I put my business card, and I just say, hey, just saw that you got that award. Just wanted to say congratulations. And I put my card and I would send it. Of course, it's all hand, no labels here, y'all. It's hand addressed. We all know, right? Those things with labels, they typically end up in the garbage. Those things that are hand addressed, people will open them. Now, something really amazing happened, because now Sally would open that and she'd be like, oh, that's really sweet. Boom, goes in the garbage. But now when I called for Sally the next time and they said, hey, there's a guy named Todd Conklin on the phone for you, Sally was like, you know what? That guy sent me a card. I'll take the call. And it got me conversations with people that I didn't have any right to have a conversation. I had not earned that trust or rapport, but I immediately had it. So 5 note cards a day. You can also do the same thing to your database. You can write 5 note cards to your database. That's perfectly reasonable as well. Now you're touching them twice per month, which is a good thing, right? I think that was Dale Carnegie probably is where I got that. Well, and I think Ninja, that's part of Ninja's deal, right? 5 cards to your database. But I really, really like adding people to my database this way. If you're trying to grow your sphere of influence, trying to grow your database, use that.
Hey, just a quick little interruption. As you know, I work with some of the best sales professionals and leaders who are looking to grow their businesses, build exceptional lives on the planet. And what I'm doing is I'm giving away $50,000 worth of coaching and training absolutely free. All you have to do is enter the drawing below, click on the link, enter your information, tell us just a little bit about you, and you could qualify for $50,000 worth of free coaching and training. Let's get back to the video.
Next one would be connect with 5 people on social media. I'm going to go into social media in a later session, but I just want to make sure that I say this. You'll hear me say this over and over again. Social media is a tool for your business, okay? You are supposed to use social media. Don't be used by social media. Well, what does that mean? Well, don't fall into the vortex, okay? You're going to go to social media. You're going to spend 10 or 15 minutes. You're going to scroll through the people, your target list, those people. And by the way, they may not even be in your sphere of influence on your database. They just may be your friends on social media, all right? We know those are 2 different things. And so now I'm going to go through and I'm going to identify people who've had some kind of a change, like me. Maybe they just had a kid go off to college, or maybe they had a son win the baseball championship, or you know what I'm talking about. Make the cheerleading squad, whatever it is. And you are going to slide into their DMs. This is all appropriate, not inappropriate. All right. All appropriate. You're going to slide into their DMs and you're going to say, hey, I just saw that your daughter made the cheerleading squad. Just wanted to say congratulations. That's fantastic. you are connecting with somebody in a way that not everybody else is connecting, right? Because what does everybody else do? They either scroll on by, they give a little like, they're like, oh, that's great, right? No, no, no. You're going to do something more. And if you really want to get special about it, you'll send them a note card, handwritten, or maybe pick up the phone and give them a call, right? So 5 people a day on social media. Now I'm going to tell you the thing that a lot of you, if you didn't already get mad about the fact that you have to prospect, period, end of story, and it's a minimum of 2 hours and it's probably more like 5 hours, I'm going to tell you the thing that probably will. And that is you got to stop being a secret agent. The 87% oftentimes are people who are like, gosh, I don't want to be the pushy salesperson. Like, I don't know. And, I'm just friends with them, or I know them from the PTA, or I know them from whatever group. Y'all, you have to be the real estate guy, the real estate gal. When somebody looks at you, they need to go, oh, that's Todd. He's in real estate. Oh, hey, that's Jane. She's in real estate. That's how aligned you have to be. There is no secret agent here. So how do you do that? Well, you just are always prospecting. And I don't mean in a cheesy way, right? Like, I'm not saying like, hi, have you ever thought of, buying or selling? That's what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is whether you're standing in line at Starbucks, or you're at the grocery store, or you're at the PTA meeting, or you're at the ball field, or you're playing golf, whatever it is, you are the real estate person. That means you've got your name badge on, you've got a shirt, you've got a hat. Y'all, wear your brand, right? Wear your brand. You've got your business cards, you're shaking hands, you're asking people what's going on. What do you do for a living? By the way, if you ask somebody, what do you do for a living? What are they going to tell you? They're going to tell you what they do for a living. They're going to say, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm in real estate, right? Oh my gosh, something really wild's going to happen. More and more times are you going to come across people who are going to be like, hey, I actually am thinking about buying a house, or I'm actually thinking about selling a house. What you're really doing is you're always prospecting, you're always giving cards, you're always answering questions, you're the knowledge broker. People are going to ask you questions about interest rates and inventory levels and you name it. And the more you are prospecting, the more opportunities you get to answer some of those questions. And that's being a prospecting real estate sales pro that makes it in the top 13% of this industry. Okay. And then last thing before I let you guys go, you have to be disciplined. You've got to be disciplined to your schedule. Your schedule is it. You've got to treat it like it is the thing and the only thing. If you are prospecting from 8 to 10, then that's all you do from 8 to 10. That means you don't schedule other appointments at that time. That means you don't go, oh, I'm distracted. Oh, I'm going to take the God a minute. Oh, I've got this emergency to put out. If it was your attorney and you were paying your attorney $1,000 an hour, you would not cancel that appointment, right? No, you would figure it out. You would move it around. If it was that doctor that, takes 8 years to get an appointment at, you would make it happen. You would figure out a way to schedule all the emergencies around that time. That's how important this hour is. It's your gold hour. It's the hour that makes, or the 2 hours that make all the difference in your business. If you will be disciplined to your schedule, those habits, that discipline will determine the kind of life and business that you live. If you want to have a really amazing one, you'll be disciplined to the schedule. If you want to have one of these that you never know what you're going to get, then you will not be disciplined to that schedule. But that's the key to prospecting to become a top 13% real estate sales professional. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next session.